When you're building out a customer experience on the internet, and that's what it is, a customer experience, every location or every opportunity a customer has to experience your brand, you should be curating that experience. So what do they see first? Will they find the information they're looking for? How quickly and how easily can they find it? So today's episode is a continuation of our digital sales strategy that we talked about last week. So this is part 2. Now, today we talk about developing your digital sales strategy or strategies, because there are multiple ones. This is a really powerful episode as I continue sharing from the presentation that I gave to Deal You. I hope that you enjoy today's episode, and thanks for being the best part of our community. The Trend Report is proudly sponsored by Deal University, Deal's exclusive platform for education and learning within the commercial interiors industry, offering live and on-demand courses to support the growth of your employees and the growth of your business. To learn more about Deal U, please visit their website at learning.ndeal.org. I'm Sid Meadows, and I'm a certified professional coach, and my focus is on high performance and growth and helping my clients move into action. I'm a personal and professional development junkie, an avid podcast listener and reader, and my passion is all things contract interiors. In this podcast, I'm going to provide you with information, education, ideas, and tools to help you in your personal life, your business, and our industry. So let's have some fun, and welcome to the Trend Report podcast. I want to talk about these 5 strategies. The first one, make sure you have a user-friendly, resourceful website. Again, I'd love to see all of you guys raise your hand if you've been to a company's website and it was so frustrating to navigate that you just closed out and left. But before you did, there was a little pop-up box that said, hey, don't leave yet, don't leave yet. But you did anyway because you couldn't find what you're looking for. When you're building out a customer experience on the internet, and that's what it is, a customer experience, every location or every opportunity a customer has to experience your brand, you should be curating that experience. So what do they see first? Will they find the information they're looking for? How quickly and how easily can they find it? What are they going to look for first? Make navigating your site easy, simple, and engaging so that literally a 10-year-old could navigate your site. That's how simple and easy you want it to be. The next thing is, remember, this is all about valuable information and not product information, and not just product information. Product information is important, but on your website, it should be secondary to what you're sharing with your customer, because this is about the establishment of you as a thought leader and an industry expert, someone that can help guide that customer through the challenges that they're facing, especially as it relates to return to the workplace and new workplace strategies. So you want to ask yourself, how easy is it for them to discover your blog or research that you've done, or maybe research you're sharing from someone else? Maybe your brand partner has some amazing research. Are the brands and the products that you sell front and center? I said this a minute ago, they should not be. Your products specifically and the brands should be secondary. And honestly, I would argue the point that if I go to your website, I should not be able to determine what brand product that you sold. That's my opinion. Other people have different opinions, but I would argue, because I want to know about you. I want to know what you do and not necessarily just the brands that you sell. And then what are the problems that you solve? What do you do for your customer? What are your solutions that you provide and the problems that you solve for your customers? Next, and this one is really big for me, is make sure you're providing easy communication mechanisms for your clients. Install a chatbot on your website. There are free versions, there are low-cost versions. I have one on my website. It gets used frequently. Mine's live. I want the client to be able to talk directly to me and engage directly with me. So it's monitored at certain hours throughout the day. I have it turned it off when I'm not available. This is also another way to capture great information, like the customer's email address, depending on how you set it up, because some chatbots require name and email address first before they can chat with you. And guys, when you have the person's email address, that's literally the golden ticket of digital marketing. Next, make sure that your showroom address is linked and mapped there so it's super easy for them to find where you are. and very friendly to click on a Google or an Apple link and take straight to Apple Maps to get directions to your showroom. Next, make sure the contact page is super easy to locate. And again, I wish I could see all of you guys, but raise your hand if you found a contact page on somebody. You read who that person is and you click on their picture and there's no contact information. There's no phone number and there's no email address. You got to make it easy for the customer to engage with you. This is about if they get to your website and they're looking around and they click on your picture, if they're doing that, they're taking extra steps and extra time. They're likely going to email you. Don't miss out on the opportunity by not providing that information. So with that, I want to ask you, what actions are you going to take to move this forward as it relates to your website? Okay, next one. Digital strategy number 2, research and write an article. This may sound complicated, but it actually is really not. Writing something does not have to be complicated. You can write a 500-word, one-page document, insert a few images, and all of a sudden you have an article, right? So don't overthink this. The one thing that I would encourage you about, because I mentioned in the beginning how important writing is, the one thing that I would encourage you to do is be sure that it's SEO optimized, that they are critical keywords that we know our customers are searching for. And I wish I could remember the name of this website, but there is a place for you to go and you can, and Trevor, I'll try to find it and send it to you if anybody asks for it and we can send it out to them, where you can actually see keywords that customers are Googling. So you could type in office furniture and you know exactly some of the things that they're typing into Google, which would help you optimize keywords, right? So that's what's important about that. Again, an article is a great way to repurpose multiple pieces of content. You could write the article and publish it on LinkedIn. This is for an individual or a business. Publish it on LinkedIn. You could take quotes from it and put those on Instagram or Pinterest. You could build an infographic and publish those as well. So there's multiple ways and a lot of power that comes from writing one piece of content from a 500 to 700 word article. And be sure to state your resources or cite them, right? So when you think about this, again, not everyone's a writer, but I'd like to ask you, what action are you going to take towards writing to support your personal brand as well as your business brand? All right, strategy number 3. Social media can be overwhelming. There's 15 plus different platforms. My encouragement to you is to pick one. Pick one platform and really get good at that platform before you start trying to do 10 platforms. And based on our research and the things that we've learned, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Pinterest are where our customers are hanging out. Okay. So obviously, we know LinkedIn is a huge B2B platform. I'm extremely active on LinkedIn. It's my favorite platform, with Instagram being second and Pinterest being third. Actually, I'd put Clubhouse above Pinterest and then Pinterest next as it relates to my strategy. But get really good at one. Don't let this overwhelm you. Don't try to do LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram Reel. Just, we could go on and on with this, right? Pick one, get really good at it, and put out the content that's going to get you discovered by your customers. Just remember, each one of these has a different strategy, and you can't take LinkedIn content and repurpose it on Instagram. But the important thing here is for you to build thought leadership around you and your brand. So you can do things like Instagram lives and showroom tours. You can do new product samples that came in. You could do an interview on Instagram as an IG live and interview your CEO and ask questions. I actually do that now with my podcast guests, where I bring them in on Thursdays after the episode launches on Monday. And we go on Instagram live and we have a follow-up conversation. It's good for me. It's good for them. It's good for the podcast. There are lots of ways to do this and a lot of examples of best practices from a dealer and a manufacturer that you could go seek. Again, infographic statistics, provide free resources. Opt-ins are really, really good to provide a free resource, but in order to get that resource, there's a call to action that requires a email address. Again, the email address is a golden ticket in online marketing, right? So it's a lot of noise out there on social platforms. So which one are you going to do? What action are you going to take as we move into the 4th and my favorite, video? Video is so powerful that you've got to get engaged in video. And here's why. Video gets 12 times more shares than traditional photo and text posts, Combined. 73% of consumers worldwide prefer video on social media to still our inactive posts, right? Videos under 90 seconds have a 53% retention rate. Now, I know that 90 seconds sounds really fast, but it's actually not that fast. And you can deliver a lot of value in 90 seconds. And when you do, people remember it. It's a 53% higher retention rate. Now, companies that share video on social media, because this is what it does, it drives people to your website, they have a 41% more website traffic. So you got your website optimized, you got it looking good, it's a great experience for the customer. Posting videos in social media is going to increase that website traffic by 41%, which means it's bringing new customers to you. You're being found because of the video. Again, very powerful statistics. Now, listen, I know video is scary. People like freak out about, I can't do a video. I get it. I do them. I know how much courage that it takes to actually do them. But you don't have to make them long. You don't have to make them complicated. They don't all have to be professional. You've got an iPhone or an Android, grab it, record yourself in a video. I mean, messy videos are okay. They do not have to be perfect. So don't strive for perfection. Okay. But you can talk about how-tos. You can do tutorials. You can demo a chair. I've seen quite a bit of that. You can actually have customer testimonials and record a customer saying something about you for 90 seconds, right? I mean, there's so much that you can do with video. The most important thing is to get involved with it. So where do you start? I want to give you a couple of examples of some really easy things to do. Some of you may know Dr. Rex Miller, who lives here in Texas near me. Rex is very vocal on LinkedIn. He does a lot of videos. He's constantly posting and engaging. The thing I want you to notice about what Rex does is Rex is not selling. He's adding value to the people that follow him. He's building engagement. He's starting conversations that go into the LinkedIn direct messenger, then go offline, and then they become a customer. He's adding value and he's not selling. And that's an example of LinkedIn. I have a whole series of videos that I recently recorded that I'll be posting over the next couple of months, because you can batch record videos at the same time. So this doesn't have to be hard, right? But I'm a huge Instagram guy. I love IG. I think it's a lot of fun. This is just a quick snapshot of my Instagrams and the things that I've done as it relates to IG Lives. And you can see there in the top right, left-hand corner, that was my last IG Live with one of my podcast guests, Dr. Sarah Beth Burke. But they're great ways to engage, and they give the people the opportunity to get to know you, to like you, and trust you. And none of these are professional, guys. Every one of them has been with my phone. Now, there's a lot of outward-facing video. Now I want to give you a little bit of an inward-facing video tool that you could use to increase conversion rates with your emails. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with tools like Loom and Vidyard. Both of these are free. They're free versions of these, and they give you the opportunity to record a personalized message using a camera like I have right here on my computer or your phone, and send it as a link to a customer where you could say something like, "Hey, Trevor, it's been months since I've seen you. I hope you and your family are doing well. We got some new finishes in. I wanted to show them to you really quickly. If any of these resonate with you, let me know and I'll send you a sample out the next day." Something that easy. It can be just a reintroduction. "Hey, Trevor, dude, we lost contact. It's been a couple of years since we connected. And man, I've been missing you, wondering how you're doing. Hit reply and let me know what's up with you and your family." These are free. You know what's great about this is you get analytics. You get to see if they opened it, when they opened it, did they watch the entire video? You get to see if they shared it and how many times they shared it, and the people that they shared it with, you actually get to see if they watched it. So you get a ton of analytics from this to know how effective this tool is, and it's free. You can upgrade to a paid version, but it's absolutely free. There are the website links for both of them. I am not affiliated with either one of them. We are testing both of them to see which works best for us, but they're really unique tools that you could start using today. Now, I know that's a lot of information about video, but I'm going to ask you what action you're going to take to upping your game as it relates to video, because it is so very important. Now, the fifth one, maybe you do know about it or maybe you don't know about it, but how many times have you read a post that says link in bio? And you got to go to the bio. You got to put the link in sidmeadows.com/blog to look at the blog. And then when I want to reference the podcast, I got to change it to podcast. So Linktree is a tool that brings all that together. This actually makes it super easy to put all the information of how to find you in one location. It really is focused on helping you be found, right? It summarizes your links to your social media platforms, your websites. You could link your favorite manufacturers out there. I mean, there's so much that you could do. And again, this is a free tool. It does not cost any money for Linktree. Now, this is what mine looks like. This is the phone version. I recently updated mine the other day just to have the About Me section from my website, my podcast, and LinkedIn. LinkedIn is my favorite platform, so I want people connecting with me there first. You see down at the bottom the icons of Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, email. That next link is to the Apple podcast because most people are listening to my podcast on Apple. And then the next one is my Clubhouse handle. So this is right. I mean, this could go on and on. You can put as much stuff here as you want to. And it's also web-based. So that little link up there that you see is what you get that you could post on Instagram, on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, wherever you wanted to about how to get in touch with you, right? But also, and you could put that in the bottom of email signatures as well, rather than having everything down there and cluttering up the email signature. But another thing that you can do, and I really like, this is what I call a hack, is it has a QR code. And so you can scan the QR code and whatever device they're on is what will come up, kind of like what we've seen happen in restaurants during the last 12 months or so. And QR codes are making a big comeback. So I'd encourage you to get a QR code. Here's my hack. I take a picture of it and I put it in my favorites in my phone. So if I'm out and about somewhere and I don't have any business cards or I meet somebody that wants to get in touch with me without having to spell out my email or my phone number or whatever, I just open up the QR code and I show it to them and they take a picture of it and it opens up in their browser and it's right there for them. So that's a hack that I think is a really cool way to use Linktree. So now I'm going to ask you, what action are you going to take to move forward here? And with 5 strategies that we shared with you about optimizing your website, writing an article, focusing on one channel, engaging in video, and then building out your link tree. So I want to know, what action are you going to take this week? I hope that you enjoyed these 2 podcasts about digital sales strategy as I shared with you the replay of a presentation and training that I did for NDLU. Now, there's some of the training that actually has been left out, including a really good Q&A that happened at the end of the presentation. If you'd like to see some of the other stuff that happened throughout this presentation, please head over to NDeal's YouTube channel where you can see the entire presentation from beginning to end. That includes Trevor Block introducing me and engaging with me, as well as some polls and then some fun stuff, and then the Q&A at the end. So I hope that you enjoy this presentation, and thanks again for being the best part of our community. Thanks for joining me today on this episode of the Trend Report podcast. I'm glad that you're here, and I hope that you got some amazing value out of today's conversation. For more about our podcast and this episode and our other episodes, please visit my website at sidmeadows.com. We look forward to seeing you next week, and go out there and make today great.